Alrighty everyone, good morning and welcome back to Biz Audio. My name is Max and I do apologise for this episode not coming out yesterday, but don't worry, we'll cover everything that happened over the past few days in the radio and audio industry. Here we go, starting off with KISS. They're presenting iHeart Live with John Edward. I really like how iHeart Live is really taking off ever since they moved into those North Sydney headquarters. It seems like they're really getting some good guests in there. And Freya Sky joined the Smallsy show last night for a chat. If you don't know who Freya Sky is, I believe she's 16 or 17. She's a singer who's coming to Australia to do a concert, I believe. My sister's a big fan of her, so I've just heard the information of her. And there is a new casual SCA producing role for Alfie from the Kyle and Jackie O show. He was let go from ARN last month, and he has joined Triple M Sydney, where he's been heard on Bo, Cat, and Woodsy's Breakfast Show. He's a AFTRS graduate, and he also still works directly with Kyle Sandilands as an operations officer. So it's nice to see that someone has picked up Alfie once again. And Mitchell Coombs has started up a brand new podcast. Mitchell Coombs was a former Kyle and Jackie O show member. He left the show in 2021, and he was also on the podcast with Mitch Churi and Jenna Benson, I believe. But his new podcast is called The Scapegoat. And so it's he's no stranger to podcasting. He has been involved with Is It Just Me, the one I talked about just before with Mitch Churi. And he was actually heard on the Mitch Churi chat show the other day. So that's nice to see that Mitch Coombs is still in the audio industry. And there are really no new updates from the Jackie O versus ARN situation, where last reported she was reportedly going to be subpoenaed by ARN in the court case against Kyle Sandilands. So basically what that would involve is any sort of medical reports, contacts, internal memos, diary notes between Jackie, Kyle, Gemma, her manager, Duncan Campbell, the former chief content officer, and the head of the KISS network, Derek Bargwanna. Very interesting to see there, the tactic that the ARN is taking there. But it is sad to see the whole way that this situation has played out, with Kyle Sandilands no longer on air, with Jackie O sort of staying in the shadows, with more than 4 team members getting axed off the Kyle and Jackie O team. Now, of course, it does make sense that all those team members would have to go at some point. The size of that content and production team was massive, even for a show that size. I sometimes think to myself, I don't know why they needed that many people, but of course they did make the Australia's #1 radio show work, and they made it go very well in the ratings. I'm not taking away from that. I'd just like to read out a little comment that I just saw on radio today. I was actually in the middle of reading this and I noticed Biz Audio popped up in here. This was on the article on radio today. Jackie O reportedly to be subpoenaed by ARN, and the comment says, "So sad to see what happened with the Game Changers radio podcast. They're trying so hard to please morning Kyle and Jackie O fans. Every week, almost the same updates, more analysis of Daily Mail articles, some weird and inaccurate predictions. Thank God we still have the quarter hour in Biz Audio. Thank you to HKN for that comment." That's very funny. I'm not agreeing with anything that they're saying, but I'm a big fan of the Game Changers podcast and the Quarter Hour. That's where I get some of my inspiration for Biz Audio. And you can check out some of the awesome interviews I did last week on the red carpet at the Australian Audio Awards. I had an awesome time. I interviewed people like Mitch Churi, Bianca Dye, Gordy, and I'll get them back for some long-form interviews very, very soon. But a quick shout out to Craig and Chels for also supporting the podcast. I did love chatting to them and meeting them in person. Craig and Chels, the Brekkie duo from Power FM South Australia. If you're listening to this, shout out to you two. You two are doing an awesome job of getting your show up and running. And I also had a nice chat to NFL legend Josh Mansour, a few people from the Super Radio Network, and honestly, it was an awesome night. I loved the Audio Awards. I loved the way they did it. I'd never been to the ACRAs, so I'll do a full breakdown of the Audio Awards, and I'll post some of the full interviews I did coming up in the next few days. And just before I go, I thought I'd throw in a little funny thing that happened in the studio. So I'm sitting in my Biz Audio studio right now, and yesterday I bought a DDJ FLX4, what do they call it, a DJ desk. I'm learning how to DJ, and so it really does feel like the studio is coming together. I've got my little sound panel from M Audio over there, and now in front of me I've got this massive DJ panel, which I don't really know what to do with. So it's coming to life here at Biz Audio HQ. But if you do have any tips on how to DJ or where to start DJing, reach out to me, MaxMonday13 on Instagram or biz_audio, or you can check out the Substack and check out the email address inbox.bizaudio@gmail.com. I can't wait for Survey 3 to come out. I don't really have any predictions as of yet. There haven't been any major changes in the radio industry as of yet, but Kiss Breakfast has stayed the same. We've had nothing new with the Smallsy show. Lowy Live continues to potter on down up in Brisbane, continue on with his live stream. I love the live streams. That's an awesome way to do it and connect with the audience. I think that if a radio show comes along and wants to do something like Lowy Live, I support it fully. I really do love the way that Lowy has really connected with his audience.